Hello! Today we play Uncharted 4 A Thief's End here on the Steam Deck OLED. So we've got our 90 Hz panel here. We could theoretically benefit of up to 90 FPS, but something tells me that we are not going to achieve that today with this game. But let's see how far we get. So let's take a look first into the options and see the initial graphical settings. So display wise it's 720p as we can see here. We have the upscaling turned off, so it's native resolution. We've got VSync on. Here we can see how much we use out of the VRAM, so it's about 2.4 gigabytes out of total maximum of 6 gigabytes. And inside the advanced graphics we can also see that we are starting here with low presets. So let's see how good that runs at 720p native resolution and the low presets. So let's get started and then we can adapt on the fly depending on how it goes. Here it went up a moment to 90 FPS but also dropped to 10 FPS. So let's see what happens once the game starts and we are in gameplay. Still loading a little moment here. So it went to 65 FPS around that. And let's see what we can do here. Let's take cover. 56 FPS right now. Okay. So around 52 FPS here at the moment. Pretty good. We're using 12 gigabytes of RAM in between VRAM and standard RAM. Well, everything is standard RAM in the end, but we share at the moment 4 gigabytes to the VRAM. That was not a good idea. Let's see if I can continue at that window. I can. So we need to jump. So pretty decent frame rate, I would say. Almost 60 FPS right now. Let's see if we increase that still a little bit. So we were at low presets. What happens if we play at ultra presets, for example? Let's apply that. And we just got our frame rate hit also from 60 to 30 FPS from low to ultra presets. So quite a distance, but if you are fine with playing with around 30 FPS, then even ultra settings are a decent option here. And we are not even using upscaling at the moment. That was again not a good option. No good climbing skills here at the moment. So let's see, that was with ultra settings. What if we put in a bit of upscaling here? Let's say ultra performance. You see that it renders down to 2040p. See how that looks like. So ultra and lots of pixels also on screen now, but we are close to the 60 FPS again. But yeah, I mean, if you want to play with ultra settings, you probably want to look at a nice looking game, and that's not the case anymore with that ultra performance upscaling. So probably not an option really to play like that. But that would be ultra settings with ultra performance upscaling, and we get 40 to 50 FPS, I guess.
Almost there.
But yeah, also a bit of a pixel mess now.
Sam?
Let's see if we can find something nicer. So instead of the ultra performance, let's try quality upscaling. So that will get down only to 480p, and we still have the ultra presets here. See how that looks like. Not that many pixels directly jumping at us. Take that here, and we are at around 36 FPS at the moment. Now it's even up to 60, but also in a cutscene.
It's good to see you, little brother. Who's that? Really? Again?
It's nothing.
You told me you'd stay out of trouble, though.
He was talking shit about us.
So?
He said that Dad dumped us here because we're worthless, and Mom is in hell because...
Nathan, come on. They're just saying it because it gets to you, all right? You just gotta learn to laugh it off.
You wouldn't.
Well, do as I say, not as I do. Here. You'll catch a cold.
So, what are you doing here like this anyway? If the nuns catch you, they're gonna call the cops.
Well, I got something for
Yeah,
you.
let me know in the comments
Until
what
Christmas.
you would choose in the settings. I will
outside.
try to find out now the best settings for me to continue here. So let's skip the cinematic.
Nice jump.
And I would then decide to not use upscaling at all, so that to make sure that it looks sharp. We had at the beginning quite decent frame rate with that low settings. Ultra will not be an option really, but let's see what happens if we are with high settings and no upscaling. So let's apply that.
Come on, yeah, give me a hand.
And that already brings us also to quite decent frame rates actually, so that's a game that can also be played, I think, with 30 FPS if it's stable enough. So we have a bit of a buffer here with 43, 45 FPS right now.
Sheesh, you're right. This is just feeding you enough. The place is kind of empty. Where's everyone?
Some Bible retreat.
Yeesh. I remember those. How's Father Duffy doing?
He's the one decent guy in there. You should come and say hi.
Nah, I don't need the guilt.
So yeah, that looks to me like a pretty good option if you want to get closer to 60 FPS. Then you can still keep it at native resolution here without upscaling. And let's say we try the medium setup, medium preset still. That brings us already to 54 FPS here, also pretty good.
And there's a road to freedom. That was easy. Come on.
So yeah, I would say it depends a bit. If you're happy with 30 FPS, you can have it at native resolution and high or ultra presets. If you want to have really 60 FPS, you probably need to go then to low presets, and if you are still fine with some jumps in between 40 to 60 FPS, then it can be those medium settings here, medium presets with native resolution.
Once or twice.
But I wouldn't use upscaling here in this game on the Steam Deck.
Here, come on. Your turn.
At the moment we're actually even up to 70 FPS here.
So, what you been up to?
I'm working mostly.
You still dating that girl?
Oh, Crystal? On again, off again. Currently off again.
So I guess the best setup then for this game on the Steam Deck for Uncharted 4 as Thief's End would be to keep it at 720p, turn off the upscaling. VSync is on, and then you either decide between the presets for more stable 60 FPS, you go to low presets. If you're fine with some variation in between 40 and 60 FPS, you go to medium. And if you are fine also with playing in the end with 30 FPS, you can select high or ultra presets and you will have a good time. So I will keep it here with medium settings. I think that's pretty decent as a setup. And that will be then my choice to continue the rest of the game. But yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts and how you are going to play this game on your Steam Deck.
Okay. No guts. No glory. No.
Let's see if we can jump over that.
You got this. See? No big deal.
Yeah. Nothing to it.
Stay with me. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Through here.
Right behind you.
There's a jump coming up.
Okay.
So until here with Uncharted 4 as Thief's End. Very nice game for your Steam Deck. I hope you enjoyed this video and until next time.